Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to explore 7 negotiation tricks motorcycle dealers use on you, and we'll look at how you can beat them. 7. The monthly payment trap. When you first sit down with a dealer, one of the first things they'll casually slip into the conversation is, "So, what monthly payment are you hoping to stay around?" It sounds innocent, like they're just trying to help you find something affordable. But the second you answer, you give them full control of the deal. Now they're no longer focused on the actual price of the bike. They're focused on meeting your payment target, even if it means quietly stretching the loan over a longer term, piling in extra fees, or slipping in unnecessary warranties without you even realizing it. For example, if you say you want to stay under $250 a month, they might stretch the loan from 36 months to 60 or even 72 months. Sure, your payment stays low, but the dealership just made a lot more money off you in interest and extra hidden charges packed into the loan. Over time, you could end up paying thousands more than the bike is actually worth. So how do you beat this? Never ever negotiate based on monthly payments. It's a trap that's designed to hide the real cost of what you're buying. Instead, walk in knowing your target out the door price, meaning the final number you pay after taxes, fees, and everything else. Lock that number down first. Then, and only then, talk about financing if you need to. Keep the conversation separate. Price first, financing second. That's how you stay in control and keep your money where it belongs, with you. 6. This deal is only good for today. Let's say you found the bike you love. You're thinking it over, asking smart questions, and then suddenly, the salesperson leans in and drops the line. "Just so you know, this deal's only good today. We've got another buyer interested, and I can't guarantee it'll be here tomorrow." Cue the pressure. Suddenly, you feel like you have to decide right now. It's no longer about finding the right bike for the right price. It's about beating some imaginary person to it. That sense of urgency they're creating, it's manufactured. Dealers know that when buyers feel rushed, they'll stop critically thinking. They skip negotiating. They accept fees and add-ons they normally would have questioned. In short, they act on emotion, not logic. And that's exactly what the dealer wants. The truth? Unless it's an extremely rare or in-demand bike, chances are that same deal and that same motorcycle will still be there tomorrow. If not, there's another dealership down the road that would love to have your business. Whenever a dealer tries the today-only trick, remember one thing. Urgency is a tool they use, not a reflection of reality. Stay calm. Say something like, "If it's meant to be, it'll still be available tomorrow. I'm not making a big decision like this under pressure." Then walk away if you have to. A dealership that respects you will respect your decision-making process. And if you do decide to come back, you'll be coming back on your terms, not theirs. And that puts you in a much stronger negotiating position. 5. Packing the payment. Once you're deep into the deal, maybe you've even mentally decided you're buying the bike. That's when dealers get sneaky. They start quietly adding extras into the paperwork. Extended warranties, service plans, theft protection, tire warranties, ceramic coating, the list goes on. It's called payment packing, and it works because, by that point, you're already emotionally invested. You're picturing yourself riding home. They know most buyers won't notice a $10 or $15 bump in their monthly payment once they're locked in. Spread out over 60 months, that tiny bump could mean you just paid $800 for something you didn't even ask for. Even worse, they don't always explain what's being added. They might spin it as standard dealer protection, or bundle it under vague labels like preferred package. It all sounds official, and by the time you're signing the paperwork, it feels too late to question it. But those add-ons can easily add thousands to the total cost, and often, you don't even need half of them. The way around this is simple but crucial. Before you sign anything, go through the itemized breakdown of the contract line by line. Ask questions about every single charge you don't recognize. Don't be afraid to say, "Remove that." They might act surprised or claim it's required, but unless it's legally mandated fees like tax and registration, most of it is negotiable or optional. You're not being difficult. You're protecting your wallet. Stay sharp and treat that contract like a final checkpoint, because once you sign, it's a lot harder to undo anything. 4. The bait bike tactic. You're scrolling online, and there it is, the perfect bike. Great mileage, perfect condition, and the price looks almost too good to be true. Excited, you call the dealership. Maybe even hop in your car and head over. But when you get there, oh no, the bike just sold a few hours ago. What a coincidence, right? Not really. Welcome to the bait and switch. Dealers post these too good to be true bikes just to lure people in. Once you're physically there, they figure they can upsell you on something pricier. And after all the time and energy you've spent coming down, it's easy to feel like you might as well look at something else, even if it's $2,000 more than you planned. The best way to avoid falling for this trick is to always call ahead, and when you do, get some sort of confirmation in writing. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even a quick email or a text message saying, "Yes, the bike is still available," is enough to put some pressure on them, to be honest. And if you show up and the story suddenly changes, don't let them steer you into their backup plan. Be polite but firm. Tell them you specifically came for that bike, and if it's not available, you'll be taking your business elsewhere. Even just being willing to walk sends a clear message. You're not a desperate buyer. You're a smart one. And smart buyers don't fall for games. 3. Hiding fees in the fine print. On the surface, the bike's price might look good, maybe even great. But by the time you sit down to sign the paperwork, the price has somehow ballooned by a couple $1,000s. How? Hidden fees. Dealers love slipping in vague charges like documentation fees, dealer prep, freight charges, or even market adjustment fees. Some are legitimate. Yes, freight costs are real, but a lot of times, these fees are massively inflated or completely made up to pad their profit. And they rely on you being too exhausted to catch it. After hours of negotiating, test riding, and waiting around, you're tired. They know it. That's why the final contract is where they quietly make their real money, slipping in charges that sound official but are anything but. The way you avoid getting burned is by keeping your energy up until the very last signature. Before you agree to anything, ask for a full out-the-door price sheet with everything itemized before you even start negotiating seriously. Don't just talk about the sticker price. Talk about the total you'll be paying and the bottom line. If there's a fee you don't understand or that feels sketchy, call it out. Ask if it's mandatory, and if it's not, refuse it. If they start getting defensive, that's your cue to walk. You'd be amazed how quickly fees start disappearing when they realize you're paying attention. 2. The "let me talk to my manager" game. You're at the table, feeling good about your offer. Maybe you've even done some hard bargaining. Then the salesperson says, "Let me run that by my manager," and disappears into some mysterious back room. 5, 10, 15 minutes pass. You're just sitting there stewing. Maybe you start second-guessing yourself. Maybe you wonder if you're being unreasonable. That's the point. This little delay tactic is all psychological. It's designed to make you impatient, uncomfortable, and more willing to settle for a worse deal just to get the process over with. Sometimes, they even come back with a counteroffer that's only slightly better than the original price. But because you've been left hanging and your mental energy is drained, it feels like a win, even when it isn't. Here's the mindset you need. When they leave you sitting there, don't get anxious. Get strategic. Pull out your phone, scroll, and relax. Treat it like a break, not a battle. If you stay calm, you stay powerful. And if they come back with something you don't like, smile and say, "I appreciate it, but I'm sticking to my original offer. If we can't get there, I'm happy to shop around." Nothing spooks a dealer faster than a buyer who's totally fine walking out the door. Confidence wins negotiations, not pressure. 1. Wearing you down with time. This is probably the oldest trick in the book, and it's brutally effective if you're not ready for it. Motorcycle dealers know that most people come into the showroom excited. You think you'll be there for maybe an hour, 2 at most. Pick your bike, sign some papers, and ride off into the sunset. But dealers have a different plan. They'll drag the process out. Paperwork takes longer than expected. Finance managers are suddenly tied up. The bike needs a quick inspection before it can be finalized. One delay after another, hour after hour, until your patience starts to crack. The longer you're there, the more exhausted you get. And when you're tired, you stop fighting for the best deal. You just want it to be over. Suddenly agreeing to a few extra charges, a higher interest rate, or skipping a second round of negotiation feels worth it if it means you can finally leave. That's exactly what they're counting on. The way to beat this tactic is to flip the script. Walk in with the mindset that your time is valuable and theirs isn't. Set a timer on yourself. If the process starts dragging, stand up and politely let them know you're going to leave and come back another day if they can't speed things up. It's amazing how fast paperwork magically gets done when they realize you're serious. And if they still keep dragging their feet, that's not a dealer you want to do business with anyway. Motorcycle dealers always have tricks up their sleeves, so always go in ready and make sure you always try to stay one step ahead. Have dealerships used any one of these tricks on you? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more motorcycle videos.